and welcome to Talking Schmidt. I'm your host, Eric Schmidt.
Hello, I am Greg Burmeister.
Greg, it's an exciting day for us, isn't it?
It is very exciting. One of the best.
One of the best days. We have live snakes tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, not only is it a live snakes, it is a 1-year anniversary live snakes.
1 year anniversary of Live Snakes, the stand-up comedy show that I produce, host, and Greg plays the amazing guitar live intro guitar music for people as they come up. I gotta come up with a smoother way to say that, but
I've got a new hot riff that I'm excited about.
I'll just wait and be surprised tonight about it.
I was working on it yesterday. I'm very excited about it.
That's so fun. We have a great show tonight, by the way. We've got Roy Wood Jr. from The Daily Show. He has a show on CNN now. That's terrific. And then Jay Jordan's on the show. Kevin McCaffrey, Rachel McCartney, and I just added Sean Donnelly. Sean Donnelly will be on the show too. He did the first one a year ago.
Yeah,
I think.
It's funny. I was just talking to one of my friends like a week ago about how I miss Sean Donnelly. Like every time I see that guy,
you're in luck, friend.
You'll see
best
him. Time.
Yeah, you'll see him tonight.
Oh, very good.
Very exciting. Yes,
very excited for tonight.
Yes, yeah. So come out. Doors are at 8:30. Show starts at 9. $10 cash to get in, so we can evade taxes. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time, man. It's going to be a good show. It's at the Gutter in Williamsburg. If you follow me on Instagram, I've probably already annoyed the shit out of you about this. So please come and enjoy the show. We're going to have a good time. Greg.
Yes.
Switching gears here a little bit. We're going for something happy, something fun, something we're excited about. You're experiencing, like every year, I feel like you have like a health issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is it this year?
It's funny. After last summer with the hernia surgery, I was very excited to be done with medical issues.
Yeah. But you think you're out, and then they pull you back in.
It doesn't end.
Yeah.
And every year I have two choices with my company's health insurance plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the high deductible or the one where you pay 10% of your income each year, and then everything's covered.
Yeah.
But every year I'm like, I feel great. And I have a feeling, nothing major is going to happen next year. So I'm going to go high deductible, which I don't have to pay anything up front. But if something happens, it's like $4,000 out the window.
This is a bummer. America, this system is not good. We got to do a new system here. Okay. So, and you have health, you have a health insurance from your work.
Yes.
And it's still just like a pain in the nards, a real boner in the back, if you will,
as they say.
Yeah. So what, okay. So what's wrong with you?
So this time,
if you don't mind.
It's probably the most annoying thing that could happen. It's my.
Oh, I'm sure we could think of something more annoying.
It's my little toe.
Oh, okay. Which foot?
My right foot.
Right, and that's your main foot.
Yeah, I am right-handed, so I guess naturally that makes me right-footed.
It's your field goal kicking foot.
Yeah. If I was going to kick a field goal, it'd be right foot.
Yeah.
Though if I'm playing basketball and I'm going to take a leap to dunk the ball, I would jump off my left foot.
Is that weird how that works? I always wondered why I'm jumping with my left.
Yeah.
It seems like I should try to jump with my right, but it just doesn't work like that because you need your right hand to dunk, so it just doesn't make sense to do it with that. It just feels unnatural.
Yeah.
We're getting into real specific basketball theory here. But what happened to your toe?
So it was nothing specific. I think it's a chronic thing. Mm-hmm. I think over the course of
my favorite Dr. Dre album, by the way.
Oh, same. 2001.
Yeah. No, what? That's chronic too.
I know, but to be fair, I like that one.
That one better.
That was when Eminem first came out.
Yeah, sure.
Still doing it, huh, Dre?
Yeah. So what happened though?
Anyways, apparently I have what they call a tailor's bunion or a bunionette.
A bunionette.
Yeah, because a standard bunion is on the
other
inside of your foot. This is on the outside. It's that weird bone on the outside of your foot that whenever you bump it against something, it hurts really bad.
Yeah.
And I noticed it a few months ago. It started hurting a little bit.
It just started as pain, I guess.
Yeah, but not like bad enough to affect my life. But just last week, I took my shoe off and my little toe was just completely purple.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, wow. I think this is worse than I thought.
Should we post a picture on the Patreon?
Yeah,
join the Patreon, please.
Yeah, for only $5 a month.
Yeah.
We could do one of those like blurred pictures that you have to click.
Right. We should, because I mean, we definitely need like a trigger warning on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's black and blue. Is it still black and blue?
The good news is the color is getting better.
Okay, good.
It's getting less purple, but it still really hurts.
Is this something that can be fixed on its own? Will, if you just like take it easy, will it like fix?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it will gradually get better. The only permanent solution is surgery. But I've looked into that, and recovery time for this small toe surgery is like 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not.
We're almost to hooping season.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to stay off of it.
Maybe just prayer will get you through this.
I hope so.
Have you considered
and thoughts?
Yes. Have you considered thoughts and prayers?
Yeah. If people would like to think about me, that'd be very helpful.
Yeah, guys, if you could please think about Greg and his toe.
Just a quick thought.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'd appreciate it. It's been a couple weeks because I was out of town for a week, and so we didn't record. We skipped a week. We took a hiatus, as they say in the biz.
Yes.
What have you been up to? Like, you went to a concert? You saw Bill Murray? Right?
Yeah. I last Saturday I went to the Sony Hall in Midtown, and I saw this very good rock and roll band. One of the guitarists used to play in the band on Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Oh, okay. With the Max Weinberg 7.
Yeah. And very good musicians. And Bill Murray was part of their band.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was really funny. Like,
did you go specifically to see Bill Murray play? Okay.
Yeah, I did. That was the reason I went. And they played 17 songs total, and Bill Murray sang 3 of them.
Wow.
And for every other song, he was playing just weird percussion instruments. Like a couple songs, he was just like holding a shaker.
Very good.
Or like a tambourine, or like, pouncing on the congas.
Very nice.
But yeah, it was great. They did a Prince cover, which I loved.
What song?
The Red Corvette song.
Oh, Little Red Corvette. Yeah.
And then they also did Bob Dylan's song, which was my favorite.
Knocking on Heaven's Door?
No, they did. What was it? I'm drawing blanks.
I don't know that one. That sounds like it'd be a Bob Dylan song.
Some Bob Dylan song.
I'm drawing blanks. He's very old, probably drawing a lot of blanks lately.
The Rolling Stone song.
Oh, how does it feel? I think it's just called Like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah,
that's the name of that
title
song.
of the
yes,
song.
Right.
A lot of lyrics in that song.
Yes, too many, arguably.
Yeah.
But a fantastic song nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And this was the night before the SNL 50th anniversary special, which he was on.
Like the music one, or like the real one?
The real,
oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, the 3 hour.
What like all this content has been building up to.
Yeah, exactly. I did watch part of the music special.
Yeah, I started watching that the other night and fell asleep. I mean, it was good. It was very late and I was very sleepy.
And it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's very long. Yeah, all these things have been super long. Like the SNL 50. I did watch the SNL 50 thing. Which I made the mistake of watching that the night I got back from LA. I was like, ooh, I'll watch this. It'll probably be just like an hour and a half long, and then I'll go to sleep. And I started it, and it was like 2.5 hours long. And I ended up staying up till like 4 a.m. watching.
Also, with that time difference coming back from the West Coast.
That's also why I was like, well, I mean, I'm probably going to accidentally stay up late anyway. So, but I didn't intend to be up that late. but
I saw him. I watched that live the following night, and Bill Murray was on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's probably for the best that he only sang 3 songs the night before, because he did a little singing. He talked a lot on that SNL thing. So I'm glad he didn't lose his voice.
He did?
Yeah.
What am I thinking? Because I know we did that sketch on Weekend Update, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. With the rankings. Yeah, exactly.
What else was he in on that?
He did something. So the whole thing was like 3.5 hours long.
Oh, okay.
And he did, he did another thing where he sang a little bit.
Huh. I must have missed that.
And also, there was another documentary series that I watched that came out that weekend, which was 4 hours long. It was like a 4-part series, which just covered like all the old, like they did an entire hour on the cowbell sketch.
What?
Specifically.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've been planning to watch all that stuff. I was just, I was like traveling while all that was airing, so I just missed a lot of it. But it looks good, and like I did enjoy watching the SNL 50, like the main episode thing. I thought that was pretty funny. They had some good sketches on there. But like I feel like if you aren't someone who watched Saturday Night Live like a lot growing up, I feel like it might not be for you. It's definitely for someone who's like more of like a student of Saturday Night Live. So.
Which is funny because I don't really watch it much anymore. But like all my favorite old cast members were kind of featured in that. Yeah. Like Will Ferrell,
Eddie Murphy, who wasn't on while we were, watching, but like is someone, they used to air old SNLs on Comedy Central. Do you remember that?
Oh, I don't.
And then they would have like it just like was much more common like in the 90s for them to air episodes from the 70s. So like I felt like I had seen and was familiar with a lot of the sketches from them. You don't really see them a lot anymore. Yeah. Because they're not that funny. Like they were like they were just didn't really have it down yet when they first started, which makes sense. Yeah. And then
also it started in 1975.
Right. And then also some of the sketches didn't age well, although one that I would argue has aged well is the one with Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor, which they included in that like bit that Tom Hanks did, where it was it was like the ones that didn't age well. But it was the one where Chevy Chase says the N-word. And have you seen that sketch ever?
I don't think I saw the original.
You should watch it. It's a quick little sketch. It's really funny, and I think it still holds up. I mean, I don't think you could get away with having a white person say the N-word on SNL anymore, and probably for good reason. But like at the time, it was allowed, and I think the message of that sketch, I mean, it's not like trying to say anything that serious, but like it's funny. Like, and Richard Pryor like is very funny in response to it. So, but yeah, worth watching. Hope I don't get canceled for saying that sketch is funny.
Sorry, everybody. Did you see the one where Eddie Murphy played Tracy Morgan?
Oh my God,
that was so funny.
Well, and then, I wasn't going to bring that sketch up because it became kind of a controversial one, and so many people have already said things about it, but like the Tom Hanks thing at the end, like really like rubbed some people the wrong way. Like people were like that we're not all, like Trump people were like, we're not all racist. And then like a few days later, Trump like had this like black guy who really likes Trump was on or was like at a thing like introducing him, and the guy went to hug him and Trump like backed away from the hug. It was like it's the sketch. It's the exact like how does art keep imitating
like they
life?
Actually nailed it.
Yeah. I actually also like I was like all right, like this like dunking on. I mean, I think Tom Hanks does a good job of playing that character, but it's like it's already been done. Of all the things to bring back from like the recent SNLs, I didn't think that was that funny of a sketch to bring back, but it ended up being quite poignant. So
true.
As I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, this sketch, all right." But yeah, so yeah, I got to catch up on the SNL 50 stuff for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Yeah. But Bill Murray was good at the concert you saw?
Yeah, okay. It was great. It was so much fun. And it was a sold out show, but it didn't seem that crowded. Like I walked up pretty close. Like it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, our friend Dave Hill has been opening for him and his band like out on tour.
Yeah, I noticed in like other cities.
Yeah, and they're like he's going to be rejoining him. So like I may go try to catch one of those. Like I think they're doing like New Orleans, and I may try and go to that one, which would be fun. I've never been to New Orleans. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been 4 times, but it's been a long time. I haven't been there in like 20 years.
Yeah.
So.
I told some of my friends that I might go to that, and they're like, "You'll like if you go to New Orleans and meet and hang out with Bill Murray, you will probably die. That's just a recipe.
We don't want that.
Yeah. So anyway, so that, beyond if you're a fan of our friend Dave Hill or Bill Murray, go see them play shows together. Maybe we'll see you there. I had a horrible flight, Greg.
Oh no!
Not as bad as that one that landed upside down, but I mean, I guess I'm glad I did.
It's all relative.
Yeah, those people are getting $30,000 though.
I feel like that's not enough for.
Well, the ones that are in critical condition, yeah, I'm sure they don't feel like that's enough. But like, if all you did was land upside down and then get out
and then you're fine,
$30,000's pretty good.
I'll take it.
I imagine it was horrifying though. My God, because you just saw the video, right?
Yeah,
of that one,
crazy.
That one to me, and I know there's a lot of speculation on what's been causing all these plane crashes recently, and like. For the most part, I definitely blame like policy. I blame it starts way before all this. Starts in like the Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan era, where they were deregulating the airlines, and that's what's caused just like systematic safety regulations to be thrown to the side in exchange for profits over people.
Yeah, and they're still using older aircrafts that have not been maintained.
I got on one with an ashtray in it the other day.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, buddy.
So anyway, although I'd rather have that than the Boeing, like a new Boeing. No, I'd rather have the old ashtray plane.
Yes.
But yeah. So and Trump and Elon Musk, they got in and they fired like all the air traffic control people, and you definitely saw a giant uptick in like fatalities from plane crashes from Biden's last day to Trump's first few weeks
after that whole Washington D.C. thing. It's wild.
Yeah, who knows? I they still haven't like figured out quite what happened with that, but like so the one that ended up upside down, the Delta flight, which by the way is like our chosen airline.
Yeah, like
that's like the one we
you
always
and I both strictly use Delta,
almost exclusively.
Yeah.
But you watch the video of that one, and that one looked a little bit like pilot error. It looks like he just landed way too hard, and then the fucking the wheels just fell off, and then it flipped, which it seems insane. It burst into flames. I can't believe everyone survived that flight. Like that. I mean, what the hell?
So wild.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to the crew that helped everyone get out for sure.
True.
But yeah, it wasn't that bad. The flight I was on. So my wife and I, we get to the airport to go out to LA for a wedding, and it's like the flight's at like 5, or no, flight's at 6, and we took public transit out there, save a little money, ease up our minds.
Oh, sure.
And somehow it got us there early, like way early. You plan when you're planning to take mass transit, you're like, well, this could end up being a clusterfuck, but but it got us there. We were at the airport at like 2:45.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so but like whatever, we've got smartphones, and we had each other, so
and you had plenty of time to hit the local airport McDonald's.
Yeah, dude, get yourself a Big Mac.
Oh, there we go.
Coca-Cola Classic. But yeah, so we're just like hanging out at the airport, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna start lining everyone up to start boarding this flight. We're like, okay. So we get up, we get into like a little section,
little zone 5 or whatever it is,
little zone, and then they're like, oh wait, oops, we don't have a pilot. And it's like, how did you not? How was that not one of the first things?
Isn't that the number one thing you need?
Well, plane probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want a pilot.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The close second is pilot. But yeah, it seems like you would check that before you start lining the people up to get on the plane.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh wait, we don't have a pilot. Everyone can sit down again or go get something to eat. We'll let you know when we have a pilot. So then 9 o'clock rolls around, 9 p.m. Which is after we should have landed in LA. By the way. And they're like, okay, we got a guy, and he pulls up on a little golf cart, and everyone cheers for him, and he waves, and then he gets on the plane, and then they start boarding us, and then we're sitting there on the plane, and then the pilot comes on. He's like, hey, there's like a weird light that we can't get to go off on the door. So we're having like the mechanics cruise.
I would already be demanding $30,000.
That sounds more like a terrorist demand. It's usually land this plane or I'm gonna blow it up. No, fly this plane or I'm gonna blow it up. So So we sit around for like an hour on the plane.
Oh, that is
while they're fixing that shit.
My worst nightmare.
Yeah. And then eventually we take off. But so yeah, like immediately upon landing, I get an email that's like, "Here's 10,000 miles," and it's like, nice, but
I mean that's like these days. It's like 20% of one flight.
Yeah. I mean, it took a flight to LA is like 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
So it took double the time because of their bullshit. And also it was clearly their bullshit. Not having a pilot, having mechanical issues with the plane. And I looked down after they said there was a problem with like the plane. And I'm like, oh, it is a Boeing too. I could see it.
Oh, no.
Like fucking shit.
Yeah, they should at least give you like one full flight's worth.
So what they ended up doing, they pretty much refunded it entirely.
Oh, okay.
Like when you count the miles, plus they gave like some travel vouchers.
Oh, okay.
But like I had to ask for them. So there's probably people on that flight who didn't think to ask them, so they just got away with it. But yeah, so I mean, they pretty much refunded it, which I think is the appropriate move. Yeah. And then I raised some hell on the way back and got an exit row seat for free.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. So I still feel like I'm losing. I'm coming out on the losing end with Delta, but we're getting close. But yeah, the wedding was wonderful. Nice. Steve Polachuk, former Page, with us at the Late Show with David Letterman, went to his wedding. It was terrific. Steve's a Jewish fella, and they did the chair thing, which is super fun. Yeah, and then we went and stayed, and that was in Santa Monica, which
which is one of my favorite neighborhoods.
Yeah, really cool. I don't think I'd ever been to Santa Monica.
Oh, yeah, I go there every time I'm in LA.
The hotel we stayed at was really cool too. You could like rent surfboards and shit. Like,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. Really cool restaurants around there. It's a cool part of town. And then we went and stayed. Some of our friends live in Manhattan Beach, and we went and stayed at their place after like the wedding. After the wedding festivities were over in Santa Monica.
And I think that's further south down the coast, I believe.
I think it's north.
Is it? Yeah. I guess I've
It's past Marina Del Rey. Am I?
Marina Del Rey is actually just south of Santa Monica by Venice.
Okay, maybe you're right then. Yeah. It's so confusing because it's like a square LA, along the Pacific Ocean there. But yeah, so we went. So fun thing happened, and I'm going to try and tell this without naming any names. So my wife and I this is a couple that we know, and they're always like, hey, let us know next time you're in LA. You can stay at our place. We have we have a house with guest bedroom, like spare bedrooms. And we're like, yeah, buddy, that sounds great. So we hit them up when we knew we were going to this wedding. We were like, hey, we're going to be in LA, and they were like, well, we won't, we're going to be out of town, but you can stay at our place. You can just stay at our place. And we were like, hey, now,
even better.
That sounds pretty good.
Sign us up.
Yeah. So, they're like, here's the code for the door. And we're like, great. So we go, because they have like a future door. And so we go, and there's like, we get like a car there, and we're walking up with like all our luggage. And there's a woman outside of the house. And she's like, it's one of those streets that like, it's near the ocean, and it's all like hills there, so like it's beautiful views of the ocean. And she's taking a picture, and we're just like, oh, hello. We're like, is this the address like that we're looking for? And she was like, it is, but maybe there's two of them. And we're like, okay. So we take a picture, send it to our friend. We're like, is this your house? And she's like, yes. And we're like, okay, well,
interesting.
This is odd. And then the woman that we saw was like, oh, let me ask my friend who's inside asleep what's going on. And we're like, okay. We're just like, what has someone like broken into their house? And like
somebody squatting. Yeah, exactly. That was my first thought.
So then this guy comes up from behind us and is like, oh, are you such and such? And we're like, yes, which is like a good sign that this guy knows us. So it's like, okay, someone told you we were going to be here. This is good. And he's like, yeah, I'm like, I'm your friend's brother. And so like, I thought you guys weren't coming till like 6 p.m. and it was like around noon. And we were like, oh, okay. So like everything got cleared up. Like I guess he he lives in LA. His house was having some work done on it, so he was staying there. But like,
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, it was like for a second we were just like, what?
Yeah, has the place been run over? What is happening?
Yeah. So luckily everything was worked out, and it was a wonderful time. Yeah, I hadn't ever spent any time in like that part of California, or I mean, it's not. Man, LA people love to tell you that part of LA is not LA. Even though, like, I thought what made anything LA was the fact that it was in Los Angeles County. But, like, everyone that lives there is like, nope, Santa Monica's not LA.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
No, it's my favorite part. Like that and Venice. And it's not that far of a drive to, wherever, like Hollywood or downtown.
Yeah, depending
LA.
on where in, like, I guess LA proper you're going. But yeah,
it's
for sure.
like 10 miles. Like,
I mean, the fucking subway goes there to Santa Monica.
Yeah.
There's a subway, like, I don't know if it ever goes underground. There's subway. So we got to work on our vocabulary, fellas. But yeah, I mean, I think it's LA, but like, we'll probably get some letters about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was fun. I like LA a whole lot. I think you do too.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll move the show out there.
Hey, we'll see.
I went sailing. You ever been sailing?
I've never been sailing.
Oh my gosh. So my friend, it was his 40th birthday. My friend Jared Fowler, I'm just going to name his name. So I knew it was his birthday because, like, we grew up together. I know when his birthday is. And I was just like, hey, I was like, I'm going to be in LA. And like, so I was like, what do you, like, it's your 40th. Like, what are you doing? He was like, well, I'm thinking about, I'm probably going to go sailing. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, is that a thing I can invite myself to? Or like, and he was like,
yeah, I want to sail.
Yeah. He was like, yeah. Like, he was like, here, and he was like, here's where we're meeting. And I was like, is your wife, your kids going? Like, what, he's like, no, just dudes. Just dudes is what he said.
Dudes only sail party.
Dudes only sail party. So I'm like, all right, whatever, we could do this. So I show up thinking there's going to be some dudes there, and there's just one dude there. It's my friend. So
it's just two dudes
going sailing. I don't even think my wife would want to just go sailing with me on her 40th birthday, but it was fun, man. And like I always thought sailing as like a hobby seemed like a real pain in the ass,
Yeah.
But I get it now. Like I totally like. I mean, it's quite it's quite like a lot. You have to like do a lot.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be very difficult to do just one person, but people do it apparently. But like, but yeah, I totally get it as like a cool, like you're out in the water, like it's like dry surfing, I guess, because it is a lot of work. It's definitely a workout, and you have to learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of terminology too, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Like the port, seaboard. I don't really know it, but like, yeah.
So he's a member of this like club, and what it is you pay like $600 a year, but then you get access to these sailboats that you get to go out on. Yeah, seems like a cool.
So you don't even need to own your own sailboat.
No,
very nice.
But like, so I was like steering because he was doing like all the stuff because that's way more complex.
Yeah,
steering
the
is
the things.
Steering's a lot easier than like all the other shit. But yeah, I could see. I mean. It's a better midlife crisis thing than a lot of other midlife crisis things.
True.
I think
That's
so. I would recommend sailing if you're looking at a midlife crisis. Let me recommend sailing.
I just buy new guitars, but that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, for the price of a guitar, you could be sailing.
Yeah. Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, pretty exciting. Oh my God, Greg, we predicted the Super Bowl correctly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
and this was before the season even started.
Well, our guests predicted that part right, but like we filmed our last episode the day before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
And it didn't go up until after, but we predicted that the Eagles would win it.
We did.
Man, they really trounced them. They made the Chiefs look bad.
Dominated.
Yeah. I would look to let me go ahead and predict this now.
Ooh.
Eagles going to win the Super Bowl next year too.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Doubling down.
So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's very nice.
You know what I did the other night, Greg?
What'd you do?
I went and saw our friend Ian, friend of the podcast Ian Hunt, friend of the podcast Catherine Zini. I went and saw the movie they made.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that.
There's a ton of friends of the podcast in that movie too. There's C.W. Headley.
Yep.
There's Ilian.
Yeah.
And man, they did a great job.
Yeah.
I was really, because like you go see a friend's thing. and you're worried it's going to be bad.
Sometimes it's more just the obligation of showing up.
Sure, you're just trying to be a good friend, trying to be supportive, and you're like, man, I hope this doesn't suck. But man, was I glad to find out it does not suck.
Very good.
Which,
very good.
They don't make things that suck. Those two.
No, they're very talented.
Yeah, this was great. They made a short horror film. I'm positive it's going to do well at. That's another prediction. Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
And
their movie,
the cringe short film.
The cringe movie. That's the title. Greg isn't just like describing it as cringe. Cringe going to do well at the at film festivals. So you'll be able to see it at film festivals before they eventually put it online for public viewing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
That's very good. And we usually like to do some news. We talk about the news a little bit. I remember last time I was like, man, I was hoping to like not have to talk about Nazis. But man, wouldn't you know it? They just keep doing.
We can't escape it.
They just keep doing Nazi salutes. These guys. That's as close as I'm going to get to it. By the way, just like a little. You get what I'm doing.
An arm shove.
Yeah. But like, I guess CPAC was the other day or something, and like there were like two guys. Like Steve Bannon was one of them. Folks might remember him from the first Trump administration, and then there was some other guy who did one too. And it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
maybe just avoid
bunch of sweaty guys.
Avoid sweaty guys doing Nazi salutes. I will say this. Look, I mean, I don't want to say anything good about any Nazis, but like the old Nazis were like in a lot better shape.
Yeah,
these new Nazis are fat.
They did a lot more meth.
Yeah. Well, these are doing meth too, but they're still somehow fat, I think. I'm like, what is happening?
How does this work? What are we doing here?
Yeah, Nazis used to be fashionable, These current Nazis, it's like, buddy, what are you doing? Man, out of context.
Take some pride in your physical appearance.
Yeah, work out, you idiots. You guys are sloppy. And like, how are you not on Ozempic yet? Like, that's the other thing. Like, everyone else
is very accessible.
Yeah, like Elon Musk, you're like a billionaire. Yeah. Get some Ozempic. What are you doing, you big fat idiot? I guess that's when you know you're rich, is when you can still be real fat.
Yeah. When you can do math and still be fat.
Guy must be eating like a king. So one thing that's kind of like a local politics thing that happened. Well, it's kind of like a mix of national and local politics. Is Trump?
Oh no!
Well, just talking about the guy.
Ozempic side effects.
Oh my God. Trump is like trying to get rid of congestion pricing. I feel congested. That's what's happening.
Yes.
But yeah, so which like I have been a fan of congestion pricing. I have seen the positive effects on the city, on the mass transit system, on traffic because I live uptown.
Yeah.
So it's definitely I see the positive impact of it. Have you seen the positive impact?
I don't. I probably would have if I was still commuting to the city every day for work. Mm-hmm. Also, if I had a car, I would not enjoy it because it would, everyone I know who has a car absolutely hates it, which makes sense. You and I don't have cars, so obviously we're not, paying it forward.
And I feel like the people I know with cars don't drive through the part of town that they would be impacted by it, though. Like a lot of my friends who have cars live out here.
Yeah.
So,
they're not crossing the bridges or tunnels every day.
Right. So I'm on team keep congestion pricing. But yeah, and it's just purely because I've seen the positive effects of it in my neighborhood and around the city. We got a message, or I got a message, because sometimes, we don't always get political on this podcast.
Yeah. But we do get some interesting messages.
I received a message. Jason King writes, are you one of the 4 out of 5 Democrat heads? I think that's.
I think that was my favorite part about it. The term "demo crackhead." Thank you, Jason King.
Yes, I think he's referencing Democrats.
Yes,
I think is what he said.
Yes. But he's also calling you a crackhead for some reason.
Which is interesting because, like, I wouldn't even consider myself a Democrat, and I certainly wouldn't consider myself a crackhead.
No.
But are you one of the 4 out of 5 Democrat heads that approve of Trump? Or still on the dark side, no question mark, but a laughing, like a hysterically laughing, like the pointed eyebrow thing, emoji. Where did he get these stats? Are there 4 out of 5 Democrat heads that are approving of Trump?
I think Jason King is just a man who enjoys crack and sends messages to people without proofreading them first.
And then he said, and comma, it was like laughing. So again, to recap, are you one of the 4 out of 5 Democrat heads that approve of Trump or still on the dark side? Laughing face emoji, comma, this has been brilliant. I'm not sure what has been brilliant. And then he said, boy, those times you bashed Bush for speaking. Bow down to your Lord and Savior Biden. And then that's a period there. And then he says, and that Cuntamela, I think and it's spelled with a K. I think what he's referencing, I think he's using the C word and
but he
Kamala,
thinks he's very clever.
Yeah, Kamala. But like, I mean, this is not how she's like, not even close to like a spelling of her name. It's Kuntamella.
So this man, I feel like he had a very difficult time in elementary school with spelling and grammar.
Must have. And that Kuntamella, it sounds like a dessert, a Kuntamella. And that Kuntamella could imagine, but nice try, being the murdering party. Is he saying that this is not the murdering party and they were trying to be the murdering party?
Or are you part of a party who likes to murder?
Yeah, I don't understand.
While smoking crack.
Does he mean political party or does he mean just like a party? Does he mean like an Andrew WK party?
Oh, yeah.
What's happening here?
When it's time to party, we will party hard.
Yeah.
Like none of anything he said really makes sense to me.
No, it took me a few reads to realize it was meant in a critical way. I was like, is this like a joke? Are you trying to be, are you like agreeing with me but like making silliness? Like, what is this? So I wish I could respond to this, because like ideally, maybe we get into a situation where people write in and we are able to have like a conversation. We're able to say, okay, well, this person wrote in who maybe doesn't agree with us, but we're able to like reach some sort, or maybe we're able to concede some things and be like, you know what, maybe they have a point on that.
Yeah, if they can at least spell words correctly.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I guess
that'd be I guess the first step.
Yeah, it'd be a good first step, guys. But also, if you want to write it in and just agree with us, that would be good too. But yeah, I would love to respond to this, but I don't know how.
We're not capable of stooping to that level of incompetence.
I mean, I guess I can respond to, are you one of the 4 out of 5 Democrat heads that approve of Trump? No, I am not. But I'm also like not, again, I'm not a big fan of the Democratic Party. And I've never smoked crack.
Yeah, not a big fan of the crack.
Yeah,
cocaine.
I mean, like, I'm not like trying to judge anyone who does like crack. Yeah. I mean, hell, Jason, maybe you like crack by the sound of things.
I'm pretty sure this man enjoys crack,
but like not for me. I mean, but you do whatever you like. Well, anyway, if you have any thoughts, concerns, prayers for Greg,
for my small toe,
yeah, for his little toe on his right foot, you can send them along to us, talkingschmidt69@gmail.com. Or you can just apparently send us Facebook messages or, or however else, you can comment on things that you see that we're a part of.
Plenty of ways to communicate these days.
Yeah. And, hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Good night and good luck. Talking Schmidt is recorded at Burmeister Studios in
Astoria, Queens.
Opening music is by Greg Burmeister. Closing music is by
Greg Burmeister.
Our intern is Jason Travis. If you like what you've heard, please like, follow, and write a review for us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you didn't like it, please keep listening to it, but keep your opinions to yourself. If you really liked it, you can find bonus episodes over on our Talking Schmidt Patreon page. Membership is just $5 per month, and it goes a long way to buy us the equipment and bourbon we need. Thanks in advance, and hope you're doing great.